Leslie!
Ah!
Leslie!
Ah!
Leslie! Boom, cold open, done.
The quickest cold open in the world.
So just have it cut off like Leslie. Do, 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 do.
Is that really the intro?
Yeah, that's the intro.
Yeah, why not? Okay,
Yeah.
great. Hey,
Try
how's it going? It is me, Leslie, one half of Chatting Pitch.
And me, Matthew, the other half, the second half, the latter half, the latter-day saint, the saints going marching in.
Explain to me what a Latter-day Saint is again.
I
get
don't know.
Confused.
Mormon, I think.
Is that what it is? Mormon.
Yeah.
I think there are a handful of Mormons in the entertainment industry, and I can only think of one.
Okay.
The only one that I know is the lead singer of the Killers. He's a Mormon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I occasionally see groups of Mormons around town, and it's like they all come over in a big bunch, don't they? Well, isn't that a thing where they like travel to a place where Mormons aren't as abundant, and they try and like persuade people to join up, join the club?
Hey, my name is Elder John, and I am here to.
We've seen this stage show.
Do you have time to talk about Jesus?
I remember one knocked on my door as I was watching Planet of the Apes, and I was like, I'm clearly not going to be into yours.
You guys seen this ape movie?
The apes are rising.
So, bringing it back around, this is a podcast about movies and pitching ideas of movies. Most of the time, we talk about movies like a movie review podcast, but we want to set ourselves different to the others. We're not just a movie review podcast. We also
illiterate.
We also don't know how to read.
All my notes are in pictures.
All my notes are in the font Wingdings.
But we understand it
perfectly. So this week, what we're going to do is talk about a recent Netflix movie directed by the guy who made The Raid and The Raid 2.
I might ask you to do another take there because my belly just made the loudest noise. And I know that you mentioned to me before recording, you said, Matthew, your microphone was a little bit too far away last time. So I put my microphone really close and my belly just went,
uh-oh.
Like a sort of Scooby-Doo Sliced Alone mashup.
What's wrong, Matthew? Did you not have breakfast?
I had several breakfasts. I would have 3 breakfasts if I could. But you know what the best thing is, speaking of breakfast, is an all-English breakfast, but not as a breakfast.
No.
My theory is the later in the day it gets, the sweeter it tastes.
Yeah. What you want to do is make your breakfast and just leave it there. And then you have your dinner for breakfast. And then later on, you go back to the breakfast and have that.
I'm with you. Yeah. Do you cover it or do you just leave it in the hot sun?
Flies,
My wife is like, no, if you leave that out, there's going to be like flies and stuff on it. And I'll just go, it's okay. I'll just leave it in the hot sun. That'll keep it warm. Chatting Pitch. Don't take any advice.
On a sunny day, you can just lay it on the bonnet of your car.
Yeah. Have you ever done that, the frying the egg thing?
No, have you?
Oh, yeah, I did that.
It works?
Yeah, it does. You don't want to eat the egg afterwards, of course.
No. Unless you put some parchment paper on there or like baking paper of some sort.
I suppose you could do, yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There's always 2 groups of people when I say that I've done the frying the egg thing. And when I say you don't eat the egg, of course. And there's one group of people that are always like, oh, yeah, obviously, Matt. Like really condescending. And the second group is like, oh, really?
Why not?
And I never know which group of people. Yeah.
Well, I guess if you really clean the bonnet of your hood and then cook the
varnish, spray it. Yeah, lovely.
Get that, what's that spray called? Pam. Yeah, I think it's called Pam spray. It might be an American thing, but it's the equivalent of what we have, where you spray like 1 calorie per spray or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So clean it with cooking spray. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think we did it on the ground. We did it on the road.
Well, yeah. Then I don't know why you wouldn't eat that then. Very strange.
That road's been out in the hot sun all day. It'll be fine. I think the person whose car we were going to do it on came out and was just like, what are you doing? No, of course not. You're going to wreck my car.
You couldn't even so you did it on their drive or you did it on their car?
Yeah. I think we did it just at the end of their drive on the road.
Next time, bring 2 eggs, one on the drive and one on the car.
Yeah.
And then you get to compare.
Yeah.
The one on the car has suspiciously less gravel in it.
And the one on the driveway, we scrambled, so it's just not horribly wrong.
I remember there was one time I went over to just lunch, and they had eggs. I was like, "Oh, do you want to make some eggs? We can do some omelets." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I was trying to make a fried egg, but I didn't put oil into the pan, and they didn't have a nonstick, so it all started getting a bit tough. And then and then they were like, and then they said, "Oh, you're making scrambled?" I'm like,
yes.
So I'm actually trying. Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, and that's when I learned that you have to really prepare your pans. Speaking
with
of which,
Pam. Prepare your pans with Pam.
That's right. Not a sponsor. At least I think that is the name of the spray. But
if it's not, then we're going to copyright it. Chatting Pam, the new podcast.
Patent
all
Pam.
Your egg needs. Patent Pam pending.
So dumb.
Hey, right, should we move on to what movie are we looking at today? It was a Netflix movie.
Speaking of things that go awry and crazy, that's also the name of the title of this movie. Right?
HAVOC on Netflix.
HAVOC, look at that.
Very good.
Oh, very good. So, Gareth... what was
Keenan.
his name? Gareth Keenan? No,
Evans.
Gareth Evans. I was going to say Gareth Edwards. That's the other Gareth. Gareth...
Too many Gareths in the industry, you know?
Did you say Gareth Edwards?
Gareths run showbiz, don't they?
Yeah.
Gareths
good old Gaz over there. Making movies. The
Gazatron! He'll turn around and be like,
off to the Gazatron
against you.
I would love to tell you what this movie's about, but I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of didn't really know what was going on half the time.
Yeah, the script is a bit of a mess. I could try and sum it up.
You know what? I think that there is definitely a through line that was very easy to follow. Everything else, I was kind of like, what's going on?
Okay.
But do tell. Gareth Evans, Edwards?
Gareth Evans. He
directed
of The Raid and The Raid 2, and most recently, probably Gangs of London, people know him for. I think he did the first season. I never saw it, though.
Tom Hardy.
Yes.
Main actor.
Tom Hardy.
Some others that I do not know.
Always walking around like a goddamn man-sized gorilla.
Yeah. And speaking like the same voice he does in Venom and anything else from Boston or New York.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So, tell me the story, man, if you can.
Yeah, Tom Hardy. It's pitched as like he's a hard-boiled detective. I don't know about hard-boiled, but more like scrambled
fried or scrambled on the driveway.
More like fried without the Pam, am I right?
Yeah, right.
Fried on the pan without a Pam.
Tom Pandy.
Pam free. He's a detective who's a bit on like the dirty side, but it turns out like this is a town where a lot of dirty cops, including Timothy Olyphant, who I always enjoy.
Timothy Elephant, he's in it, yeah. The Elephant Man.
I love a bit of Oliphant Man. He's
the
great.
Elephant Man. Yeah,
is it like the Elephant Man, except he has no prosthetics, so he just it's the Elephant Man, but he's really like handsome.
Yeah, that's right.
He just remains good looking.
The Elephant Man.
I'm not an animal. He just looks at the camera.
I only know him through a handful of movies. I don't think I've seen enough Timothy Elephant movies. There's Die Hard 4. He was in that.
Yeah.
Bad. He was Clint Eastwood in Rango. Great film.
He was, yes. I love that movie.
Yeah. And there are others. I think there was one called Dreamcatcher ages ago, which is some sort of like horror Stephen King type.
I don't
movie.
think I saw that one. I saw the other horror he did. God, I can't remember what it's called. It's about the small town where like the water gets polluted and the Crazies. I think it's
probably
called.
the Crazies. Yeah, yeah.
I really liked him in that, and I've just seen him in a lot of interviews as well. Very funny guy, and he does turn up in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Has a good little part there, playing the actor.
He's very funny when
he's
with Conan O'Brien.
Oh man, his bit where he is like mocking. There's a very old interview with Ian McKellen where Ian McKellen's very seriously talking about the differences between stage acting and acting for the camera. And Timothy Olyphant does that, and if you look it up, it's a very funny bit. I don't want to spoil it, but anyway, he's the bad guy in this. He's another police officer. And Tom Hardy. Wait a second.
He's a police officer. How can he be a bad guy? Yeah. So
don't the police have everyone's best interests at heart?
Boom, boom, boom. There we go. So so
Tom Hardy's a bit dirty, and it's revealed very early on. This isn't really a spoiler because it's pretty much the opening. That Tom Hardy's character is involved in something that has ended up in murder in some way. And he's also sort of in the pocket of a local politician who's trying to be mayor, I think, something like that, who's played by Forrest Whitaker. Again, someone else who, when he shows up, you rub their hands, it's going to be good.
Definitely not in The Wire. He was in The Shield.
Yes, as we've established. Although we'll put him in The Wire. We'll make it so with our green screens.
Sure.
And he's separated from his family because it's implied because of what he's done. He's got a new partner who's trying to solve a homicide where a bunch of mad people in hockey masks have turned up and shot up the place. But also the mayor's son is involved in some way. So the mayor's son is essentially being hunted down by everyone. And Tom Hardy's character is the only one who wants to hunt him down to make sure he doesn't die. So that makes him the de facto good guy, I guess.
But he's doing it with an ulterior motive because he doesn't want to see the mayor again, so he makes a deal with him, right?
It's a strange deal, though, because he says, like, we're all square, I'm not doing anything for you. And literally 5 seconds later, he says something like, well, if I do this for you, we're all square. So, whoa.
But I'll just do one more
thing.
Way to
back down. Okay, I'll do one more thing. And Forrest Whitaker's like, can you just do a little more? Can you get me some ice cream? Okay, but after these 2 scoops, we're square.
We're done.
Yeah. Forrest Whitaker's like, with waffle cone? Oh, fine. After the waffle cone, you owe me.
Crash cuts to him like trying to make ice cream on the
Crash cuts to him like cycling on a like a teenager's bike, like trying to hold this cone with like 5 or 6 scoops on.
Yeah.
Gotta get him to the
yeah. He's doing his plate spinning act.
Yeah, but with ice cream.
Yeah, so
although it would be with potato, wouldn't it? Do you know that one?
No.
The ice cream on screen, obviously because of the lights.
It's potato.
It would melt. And I think I read somewhere that it's scoops of potato. So
every
time you see someone in an ice cream advert go like, delicious, Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah.
Just, give them a little bit of your mercy because...
imagine like licking ice cream and every time it just tastes like potato salad. Like, awful.
Yeah.
Although, if you have it with a bit of salad.
Although I suppose you could have in the advert where they pour chocolate sauce over the ice cream, it's actually pouring gravy over the potato.
There you go.
Good. And instead of a 99 flake, because the lights will melt it, it's just a sausage.
That would smell so bad.
Oh,
like in the sun.
That would be excellent. And instead of sprinkles, you put some peas. You got a sausage mash and peas. Sorted.
We're straying away from the review here.
Anyway, so after he gets the ice cream for the mayor, and I think that's the story. I would say it's almost like the film doesn't quite know what it wants to be because there's a lot of stuff where looking at the first 20 minutes, I almost think it's like a cross between Kung Fury and there's another Netflix show produced by the Sci-Fi Channel, I think it was, called Happy. Did you ever see Happy?
I've heard of it. Yeah, it's got the imaginary little horse.
Yeah, the imaginary horse played by Patton Oswalt. Really great show.
Okay.
really over the top violent, but it's aware of what it is. It's aware that it's being hyper violent and hyper real. Whereas this, it's almost like in the nighttime, it wants to look almost cartoonish. I don't know if you agree with the car chases and things. And then daytime, it's suddenly realistic. And
well, it was just kind of like, it felt very green screened and CGI'd.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, I couldn't tell what was going on half the time. And I don't know about you, but maybe I was watching it a bit too close to the screen, but some of it just looked very, very digital. And there was just so much film grain. Did you notice the film grain?
Yes.
Like some sort of weird digital film grain going on.
And again, in the same way that it's almost like two different stories, because the fight scenes I thought were really well directed. And even though there was loads of complex information being thrown at me at once, I understood where everyone was and what the situation was and what could happen next. And whereas the car chases, especially the first 10 minutes, I thought, oh, am I actually gonna I'm not gonna enjoy this movie, am I?
I was kind of tuned out a little bit because I thought I like a good car chase, but this one just seems very off. I don't really know what's going on here. But let's face it, if you put an a trailer out for a movie that's saying the director of The Raid, you're going in expecting action scenes and not really going for the story. Having said that, story's a bit naff.
The script is all over the place, even with the thematical aspect, because there's a lot of stuff about family.
Mm-hmm.
Forrest Whitaker's character, the mayor, having to look after his son, and there's some stuff with, I don't want to say too much, but there's a husband and wife aspect going on, that the guy in the hospital. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on there, and the film sets up that Tom Hardy's character is separated. I keep calling Tom Hardy's character. They gave him the most generic name in the world, Walker.
Yeah.
So
Harvey HAVOC.
Hey, my name's Harvey HAVOC.
I heard you got a case for me.
Heard you got a case. I'll do it real good.
But just this one time.
Just this one time. They're with Square, okay? No more falsifying the records.
I think
go on.
That's as much as you can say without spoiling it, but is there really much to spoil? Because really...
Well, no, because it sets up that Walker is separated from his family. And you think with all the other family stuff going on, it's almost like the film goes against the easy telegraph. It almost telegraphs to you early on, oh, okay, there's going to be some more family stuff at the end. And there really isn't. It sets up this idea that he's desperate to see his daughter again. There's a lot of struggle with that because his estranged wife doesn't really trust him and doesn't really want to be involved with him anymore after what he did.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there's a scene early on where he's trying to buy Christmas gifts for his daughter, but it's so close to Christmas that all he can get is, you know, some cheap tat, really, in a little plastic bag.
Yeah.
And it sets up this idea and then just sort of jettisons it out the window. It's almost like I got the feeling that the script could have just done with being stripped down and then built up again. Where they can actually decide, okay, what actually works from this. But like you say, a lot of people will go to watch it because it's Gareth Evans, and they'll go for the fight scenes. The fight scenes are good enough. The end sequence for me is very good, where they have the big gunfight right at the end. But it's only about the halfway mark for me where things really started getting going. It took a lot of time to set up. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, I paused it for a bit. I kind of, and that's the problem with watching streamer movies that get released on Netflix and all that. You kind of like, if you can't really just go to the cinema and be like, hey, projectionist, can you just pause the movie for a sec? I just want to go get a snack. But for me, it kind of felt like, oh man, there's not really much going on. I can walk away from this and not be that involved.
Yeah.
I went and got some grapes, came back, and I was just like, here we go.
There was a lot of story stuff in the first half in a movie where the story doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, for me, I thought the action scenes were fun, but then it got a little bit tiresome after a while. There are parts where it's like, okay, this is very high octane, in your face, you know. like loud rock music or whatever it is playing, and then you just got Tom Hardy going like, man, change, just like waving around his axe or
All
his
right.
shotgun. All right, partner. And then it's not like it's stuff that hasn't been seen before.
Okay.
Like I can really see there was definitely, especially I don't know if it was the first action scene or like the one that was literally bang in the center of the movie, where it was in a club, and I could not help but feel like John Wick has already done this like 4 times.
Yeah,
and I don't know if you felt like that, but
a little bit. I don't know if you could argue that this was a bit dirtier, a bit grungier,
dirtier. Yeah.
And there was certainly more of the feet. Like John Wick is a world where everyone is the best. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like John Wick's the best, but he's also going up against a guy who's also the best.
Right.
And and she's also the best at what she does, and what she does is killing people, and that works. That's fine. Whereas this, I actually kind of liked the main instigator of the whole plot, which was the mum of the son that had things happen to him.
Yeah.
Don't want to spoil.
Mm-hmm.
I like that she has got it completely wrong, because that sort of almost ties into some of the fight scenes where it doesn't look like a dance.
Okay.
It might have been choreographed like one, but there's a lot of characters making mistakes and characters tripping or characters not seeing that thing coming, whereas in John Wick they would have. Right. Do you see what I mean?
It's experts versus experts, whereas this one was everyone's a bit scrappy.
Yeah, everyone's a bit scrappy. They've got unlimited bullets, but they don't quite know what to do with them.
Did you notice that every bullet sounded like a rocket?
Like, oh my goodness! Yeah,
very loud.
Yeah,
bang, bang, bang.
And then he picks up a gun 10 times the size, and it's the same effect. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. No one reloads.
no one reloads. I think I saw Tom Hardy reload once. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll be honest with you.
Because it's that sort of movie. That's not a critique. That's us trying to communicate what sort of film it is.
I think I probably had higher expectations because I really did enjoy the first Raid, if you've ever seen it. I thought that was a great movie.
And the second, yeah.
And the second one, yeah. But then I watched this one and I kind of was expecting more of the same. And it kind of was, but also not really. Like, ironically, the director is an English-speaking director. And he was better at directing a movie that wasn't English-speaking.
Oh, okay. Right.
Because genuinely, I thought The Raid was a much better film. The first two.
Do you think it's because The Raid can be summed up by this? I can't remember exactly. Is it just one character, or like a bunch of characters have to get from here
to here,
up to here?
Yeah.
Whereas this was, okay, he's got all this duplicitous crime underworld stuff, and his daughter doesn't see him, and his wife doesn't, and his wife hates him, and he's friends with this person, but they're not really that. And there's a lot of more personable stuff going on.
Yeah, maybe.
Whereas the Raid was just like, I need to get there, and those people carrying knives are in my way, so I'm gonna.
It was a lot less. I don't know. I found that less intriguing than having such a like the Raid was a very simple premise. Yeah, it was A to B. This one was A to XYZ. And you kind of, by the end of it, you kind of like, I just want to see some bang bang action. And that's how I felt about the movie. In terms of ratings, I think I'll probably just give it like a chat-in.
Okay.
Don't know about you, but I think the story didn't intrigue me enough, and the action wasn't. I mean, like I said, I felt like it was quite derivative of many other action movies that we've seen in recent years. There were moments, how I said before, there was a movie we reviewed before where it was like, there wasn't really a talking moment where like something happens.
Yeah.
They do have this in this movie. There were moments where I was like, oh, they did that thing, and that's stuck in my brain.
Gotta love a bit of spearfishing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly the moment that I'm talking about. But yeah, what about you? What's your rating?
Yeah, I think because it almost feels like a missed opportunity. There was some good stuff. I liked the chemistry between Tom Hardy's character and I can't remember her name now. His new partner.
Yeah.
I liked their back and forth. It felt quite natural, and it wasn't just cookie cutter detective dialogue.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it can be summed up by the people in hockey masks come into a room to do some business.
Yeah.
And then it cuts away to Tom Hardy sitting in his car.
Yeah.
And they have a scene about something to do with his daughter.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I was quite looking forward to that fight scene there, but I guess we're not going to see that.
What did you think of Timothy Olyphant? I felt like it was kind of a bit play by numbers. They didn't really have much to do.
I think like a few instances he does well with what he's given. A bit like Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker isn't given much.
Yeah.
But he does well. Those are two actors who you could drop them in. And as long as the casting isn't too insane, they'll do a good job. And if you give them okay material, they'll make it good.
Yeah.
And if you give them good material, they'll make it great, and so on.
Yeah. I felt like there were some characters who were given a lot more screen time and who were just a lot less interesting for me. And also the performances weren't great. I don't know about you, but the mother in question, the one that was the mother of the son who did some things,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I thought she was pretty bad. Did you?
Okay.
But I actually understand the language that's been spoken in this movie. So a lot of them are speaking Cantonese. Okay. So Hong Kong Chinese, right? The way that she delivered her lines was very kind of... There was a moment where I was just like, wow, this is very cheesy. But I don't know if it was because I understood the language and you have that disconnect where...
Do you think that's what they were going for? A bit of cheese?
Maybe. It could have been a bit of cheese, but it didn't...
Don't know.
That wasn't the way it was marketed, so I don't know.
Yeah, the problem is if you're going to go for cheese... like I said, I compared it before to Kung Fury. Kung Fury is not the best film.
Yeah.
But it knows it and it's having fun.
Yeah.
Even if some of the humor's dated a bit.
Very
and the same with
YouTube.
Happy. Happy knows it's...
Yeah.
Happy knows what it is, whereas HAVOC, I don't think it knows what it is. So I think in terms of rating, I'll probably just give it a chatty.
Chatty?
A chat-eye.
Chatty.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I gave it too much credit, to be honest, to chatting. But,
both sort of middling.
Yeah, quite middling. Anyway, that's it, really.
It will disappear from Netflix in 2 weeks.
Did you want to talk about spoilers, or is there not really anything to spoil?
I think I was looking forward to, so we're in spoiler territory now, I guess.
Okay, sure.
I was looking forward to being able to hate the son a bit more. And then he died. Because that is what the film did quite well, I think.
Because there's two sons, isn't there? There's son versus son, right?
So there's the criminal boss.
Mastermind.
He's the boss, I guess. Young kid. And he's got the pair of them that have just done that job for him, stealing a lorry full of... I gathered that it was cocaine was hidden in the washing machines.
I'm guessing so, yeah.
I think. And that's why they were trying to steal it. So I thought, I'm really going to look forward to hating this character in there. And then he died straight away. But I would say the film did quite well, where there were a lot of hateable characters.
Okay.
So I enjoyed that aspect of it, where it was...
Which one did you hate the most?
Oh, probably the dirty police officers. Yeah. I enjoyed disliking them. Because everyone else's motive was like, I've got to protect my son, I've got to avenge my son, I've got to, there was some sort of emotional state, whereas these guys were just like, we just want money.
I was trying to think of other movies that were similar to this, where it was like, oh, you killed my son, so now I'm going to kill your son, which is essentially what the through line was, I thought. And the only thing that I could think of, where no sons died, actually, but it was that one movie with John C. Reilly and, what's his name, Christoph Waltz, and their kids had been, they had a scuffle in the playground.
Okay.
And then the parents come in and then they have a big argument about it. And I felt like this was the action movie version of that.
I don't think I've seen that.
I watched it with you, didn't I?
What movie was it?
Carnage. Did you not watch that movie?
Oh, yeah, Carnage. Yeah. Based on a play. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the action movie version of that.
It's the action movie of that. Yeah.
Carnage, your son did
HAVOC,
this to me.
A supreme double bill. Comes to Prince Charles Cinema.
Unfortunately, that movie was directed by someone who's quite problematic.
Oh, was it? Who was
Roman Polanski.
Ooh.
Anyway, shall we pitch a movie?
Yeah, let's pitch a movie. Should we pitch our own? John Wick's already done a little bit with it, where instead of avenging his son, it's avenging his dog. So that's already played with the genre a bit. But I suppose we could pitch one of those movies. We've done similar before, where we tried to pitch a sort of Taken film, where we took like a really old star. But I guess this time we don't have to, because that's not necessarily in the genre, is it?
No.
This is a movie that you just want for the fight scenes.
Sure.
What we could have is the fight scenes get progressively wackier and wackier.
Yeah. Like Wacky Warehouse. Remember that?
Wacky Warehouse.
Did you ever go to a brewer's fair?
Right.
Yeah, it was like their version.
Oh, is this where there's like a silhouette of a guy in the dark, and he's like, "Come into my warehouse."
Come on, kids.
I've been there. Yeah,
I've got toys. I thought I forgot about that day. Yeah, so that was...
And Wally's Wacky Warehouse. Sponsors of Chatting Pitch.
Wacky Warehouse was their
a day you'll never forget, unfortunately.
You heard of a brewer's fair?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like similar to Harvester or Beefeaters or any English pub chain. Wacky Warehouse was their equivalent of the McDonald's Playhouse.
Okay.
Yeah. Ball pits, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think it got discontinued because of that man in the silhouette. Like he was doing the rounds.
Many outlets.
The manager had to take him aside. It's like, I'm sorry, this isn't working. You can't just be standing there terrifying these children.
He's just there standing across the table from him.
There's nothing wacky about it. This is just Warehouse. You just need, where's the wacky? Turns out his name was Wacky.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're pitching an action movie.
Let's move away from pitching our great businesses.
Wacky Warehouse, the movie.
If you want to eat here, you got to get past Wacky the Clown.
That could be the movie.
Don't you be slippery because of all the oil.
Yeah,
because of all the Pam he's put on.
All the Pam he's put spray. Yeah, it's 1 calorie per spray.
Oh, it's really hot today. Shh. I'm ready. I'm wacky.
You hit him with a car. He doesn't like get hit. He just slides right off. Anyway,
every blow is a glancing blow. Yeah.
What are we going to pitch? Wacky Warehouse movie?
He could be the villain, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking like the fight scene in HAVOC where he uses the harpoon.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that should be like in the first fight scene. Like that sort of level is in the fight scene. Not necessarily a harpoon, but something similar. And then by the end, you're using, I don't know, comedy mallets.
You said that it has to keep ramping up. It gets crazier and crazier.
Yeah, so by the end, people don't realize because the progression is so steady.
Right.
But by the end, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So at first, you start off with harpoon, and people are like, "Wow, that's wacky."
Whoa!
And then by the end of it, they're using office chairs. They're using anything you can find. What, like a bread maker? Has anyone done that? I was just thinking of things in my kitchen.
An industrial bread maker.
Yeah.
And then the henchman can do like a because I love a good fall off. I love a good fall off the side as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the stunt where they get shot and then they fall off the balcony.
But he falls into the bread maker. Whoever's playing the main actor shuts him in the bread maker.
Yeah.
And then it zooms into the display and he like touches like Easy Bake or something. And then and he comes out all nice and toasty and crispy.
Well, yeah, at the end of the fight scene, he comes out and it's just like a guy made of bread.
Yeah. And then he takes a little bit off and then eats it and it's like, needs salt or something.
That's a good slice of action.
That's good. You're way better at making these one-liners than I am.
Your version is just like he sets up the one-liner and he just goes, well, better get going.
Who's the main guy? Who's our Tom Hardy of the picture? Yeah.
If only Leslie Nielsen could come back from the dead. Who was the guy in? I'm going to look it up.
I might know. What's
Rebel
the movie?
Ridge.
Oh,
Aaron Pierre.
Aaron Pierre. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was some amusing bits, if I remember rightly, in Rebel Ridge. I think he could pull that off. Yeah, Aaron Pierre. Yeah, we know he's got the action chops. We know he's got the charisma. We know he's got those startling,
those magnetic blue eyes. And he's built like a brick house.
Goddamn tank. Forget a man-sized gorilla.
Yeah. Did you know he was also Mufasa?
Who, Aaron Pierre?
Yeah, in the new Mufasa movie, he was Mufasa. There was a big meme going around where he was on some sort of chat show.
And they were like, that's Rebel Ridge. You must never go there, son. That meme. That's Aldershot. You shouldn't go there. Ha, 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 ha.
All right.
Sorry, go on. I've been holding on to that one.
That's a very niche reference there for anyone who might
anyone who's not on
understand.
Facebook.
Yeah. Okay. So
in 2014.
I don't even understand the reference really.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But we'll talk about it afterwards.
Who cares?
Yeah. Aaron Pierre. He is not Mufasa. He is the anti-Wacky Warehouse man. Wacky Warehouse. Are we doing that or not? Like the shady guy from Wacky Warehouse.
Yeah, the shady guy is our villain. Yeah. Who I don't know who could play him.
Someone who's a bit shady.
We'll have a think, but let's think about what Aaron Pierre's character. What's his background? Is he a police officer?
He was an ex-cop.
An ex-cop.
Yeah.
Has he done something shady?
He's an ex-cop that's now head chef at a bakery. And he's getting his bread stolen by the wacky man.
Okay. And he was fired from the police force for being too wacky.
Yeah.
And that's what the bad guy doesn't know. He doesn't know that he's actually going up against someone
who's just as wacky as
himself.
Yeah.
He'll put you in a bread maker.
Yep, that's right.
I can imagine. A baker's dozen. Unlucky 13 for some.
The opening credit, right? Sorry, the opening scene. Aaron Pierre, he's in the bakery. He's got his apron on. He's got his little bakery.
He's kneading some dough. Yeah,
he's kneading the dough, and then you suddenly see the shadowy figure, like beyond the front door, and you hear the ching, the little bell goes off. He comes in. It's like, I'd like some wacky bread, please. And he's like, we're all out of wacky bread.
I'm only allowed to make normal bread. Aaron Pierre's like, I wish I could help you. I love making wacky bread, but what is wacky bread?
I don't know.
All I've got is a croissant. That's as wacky as I can go.
It's a croissant, but in the shape of a full-sized loaf, like a really big old. And he's like, this is way too wacky for my bread shop.
Yeah.
Take your wacky bread elsewhere. And
his boss is like not one of the bad guys, but Aaron Pierre's boss is like a real stick in the mud.
Yeah.
Get that giant croissant out of here.
But Aaron Pierre's boss, he was, he's the one who got him out of the wackiness. He's the one who he gave him the clean life, clean bread life. And he's like, you work for me.
I just want to thank you again, buddy.
Yeah.
Because you
I'll wipe your slate clean.
You pulled me out of the wackiness and you gave me a job. And the boss is like, yeah, we're friends, but you owe me.
Yeah.
And by the end, they're all square.
This is where the harpoon comes in. The wacky man, he's like, you ain't got no wacky bread?
He's a fisherman.
He's a fish. Do you have
Comes in,
any
he's got
bread
like
with fish in
dungarees. Yeah. You know, wacky bread.
it? Yeah, so
Don Johnson's wacky bread.
He doesn't have the wacky bread, so he gets his harpoon out and then kills.
Wow! So this is like the opening credits.
The opening scene, yeah, and then he kills the boss with his harpoon, right? And this is where Aaron Pierre's like, oh man, those days are behind me.
That really bugs me.
Yeah. But now that this wacky man has killed my boss, I need to get some wacky revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, he turns his hat inside out.
That really makes my yeast rise.
That really puts the soda in my bread.
Soda bread.
Yeah, so it's a revenge flick, right? He has to.
This makes me feel really sour, though.
Wacky man. He leaves after killing his boss, and then he's got his boss in his arms. He's like,
or part of the boss in his arms because he's impaled.
Yeah. So yeah, Aaron Pierre's character. This is the boss dying, and he goes like, Aaron Pierre, your character, you, which does not yet have a name.
We'll call him Baker.
Baker, yeah. And
I'm
then
just
like,
damn Baker. I'm just a
like,
baker.
Oh, you gotta get him, man. You have to avenge me, because who else is gonna take over this bakery? And then he dies. And then he's like, no! Or like in this sentence, he's like, no! Yeah, and then opening crawl, you know, like James Bond's like crawl or whatever.
Dough another day.
Baker's dozen. Oh yeah. Would you bake another day for me? And then, you know, the lovely ladies in the silhouettes, they're dancing, but they're all like,
they're just like made of gingerbread.
They're made of gingerbread, yeah. You see, like the
they start off as silhouettes, and you think, oh, pretty lady, and then the light goes over them, and they've got like buttons going up them, and
yeah, all the silhouettes are just like, you know, whisks going around, eggs flying.
And at the end, it's a gingerbread man just falling.
Yeah.
And then bash, and then it cracks apart.
Yeah.
Directed
by the what is it? The barrel scene. It's a rolling pin. Again,
an industrial rolling pin.
Yeah. So he goes on to an expedition to try and find Mr. Wacky Man, and then the stakes get higher and higher. No longer are that. Harpoon was the craziest part of the movie, but how do you get even crazier than that? Well, we've already got the bread maker.
We've got the bread maker. How many fight scenes do you think we need? Maybe 4?
5?
4 or 5? Okay, let's go 5.
So each one has a different type of baking utensil.
Yeah, each one has a thing.
Yeah.
So there's the harpoon in the first one where the boss falls apart, and then Aaron Pierre's just literally like holding his chest and his head, like they become separated from his body. Yeah. He's like, no, he's doing like CPR, and every time he presses down, like more of his guts come out.
This is where his kneading skills come in.
So he just crushes it. Oh, I'll save you, boss man.
Yeah. The ambulance comes in and he's like fully folded him into the ingredients.
Yeah. And he's gone crazy with grief.
Yeah.
It just needs a couple more rolls. And the boss is just completely flat. Like, we'll get the prosthetics from Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Where Hitler gets shot up. He's just like, just skin.
Yeah. And then he gets the recipe book out. It's like, this doesn't seem right. This
doesn't seem right. My boss has been harpooned.
Okay, so we've got the fish. The wacky man's the fisherman, right? And then Aaron Pierre, his name is Baker, and he's got all the baking. There's got to be some sort of a tie-in there, right? Where they're using fisherman gear with baking utensils.
Well, they could have maybe the third fight could be in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like
a seafood
harbor.
Restaurant.
Yeah, a restaurant on the harbor. Fresh fish, fresh bread.
Yeah. And then they're like, you don't look like you belong here. And they're all these fishermen. And he's got a ton of like, he's like Commando with his
baguettes,
baking utensils. He's got baking soda like instead of those grenades.
Sleeveless vest.
Yeah. But he's built like a tank.
He gets like a thing, and the camera like crash zooms in. It just says live yeast, and he pulls it off, and
and it just there's like a big nuke cloud, but it's like
yeah. And the fishermen are not with the wacky guy.
Yeah,
they're just unnecessarily aggressive. Like you say, like I don't think you belong here.
Yeah,
you don't look like you've done a day on a boat in your life.
He's just going around killing any fisherman he can find because he thinks like they're related.
Well, I think to keep him the good guy, they have to start on him. They have to start the fight.
So they all have their own fishing equipment. One's got like a fishing rod. The other one's got the worms. You know.
And at one point they could all have fishing rods, and they all like catch a different limb. So there's four of the guys, and they're like stretching him out, and that's when he gets the yeast out of his pocket. Like And what do you have to put? Run! He's got live yeast. So that can be the end of the fight scene. Yeah, like you say, like they could be throwing worms at him.
Yeah.
What else? What other fishing gear is there?
The little the things that you put on the end of the fishing line that looks like little colourful toy things. Is that what it is?
Maybe the fight could start off by he pulls on one, and that alerts them. So he's been lured in. So the wacky guy lures him to that restaurant on the harbour. Mm-hmm. Oh, someone's knocking on my door.
Go for it. I think it's the wacky man.
If I don't come back.
All right, one sec.
Avenge my death.
I will.
Oh.
Gotta pause it real quick.
Oh, I came back and I escaped the wacky man. And he left me a giant box.
Whoa!
He said there was a bunch of interesting toys inside that I could play with. But only with him.
Open it up and it's all just fishing gear.
Toilet rolls.
The buoyancy will save you. It turns out toilet roll isn't buoyant at all. It just soaks up the water when you sink.
Oh, that could be part of the fight scene. They lure him out onto the water. But he hasn't got a boat. So what could he use?
Bread. That's all he's got. You know how bread floats when you feed ducks?
Yeah.
That's the only thing he's got.
Yeah, you know, when you just get an entire loaf of bread and you're just like, have it, ducks.
Yeah. So
disclaimer, you shouldn't actually do that.
No, bad for them.
Not good for ducks.
Yeah.
Give them seeds.
So let's wrap up the movie here. I mean, we know where it's going to go. It ends up with Wacky Man versus Baker Man. And,
in the Wacky Warehouse.
In the Wacky Warehouse at a Brewers Fair. It turns out that there must be some sort of hidden agenda there, right? Where maybe Wacky Man actually applied to be a baker, but he couldn't. Yeah, and that's why
because he's got flippers.
He's got. Is he part fish?
Aaron Pierre rips his hands off. Yeah, like he goes to pull him, and his hands just come off.
Right, and he's got flippers.
Aaron Pierre's like looking down with like these fake hands. And he looks up. I guess you found my secret.
And he's part fish.
And the rest of him starts morphing into fish. Like,
his head starts falling off. His skin starts deteriorating.
Like we have the camera right up to his face, and he's like, The effects kind of look like, you know, when Will Smith shoots Tony Shalhoub's head off in Men in Black.
Yeah.
And it grows back. Like have it look a bit like that, where his head's just like,
yeah. Did you ever watch Super Mario Brothers, the movie with Bob Hoskins?
Oh, I've seen bits of it.
All right. Do you remember the bit where Dennis Hopper's character starts going, kind of like that?
Okay, I'll trust you.
Really ahead of his time.
That's the bar.
Yeah. So so now it's Baker versus Fish. Is there some sort of fish-related pun that you can say as a baker? There's got to be something there.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the obvious one is beforehand, he has a friend who's maybe patching him up after that fight with the fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, but where are you going now? And Aaron Pierre just turns around. I gotta go fishing. So that's the obvious one.
That's the obvious one, yeah.
Yeah.
And the wacky warehouse guy, he's like, I gotta go baking.
but he has no friends, so you just hear his voice echoed.
He's just talking to himself
around the warehouse. Yeah.
Okay.
Baking.
How does Baker kill off Wacky Man?
What does he use the warehouse for? What is this nefarious thing that he uses the warehouse for?
Something fish. He's a fish, so it's something fish related, right?
Okay.
Yeah. He's actually building a giant tank because this whole time
he's trying to create other fish people because he's got no friends.
Yeah.
So he wants to create some more fish people.
Yeah. So he's got some sort of big machine that converts bread people into fish.
Yeah, it'll be like the TV show Street Sharks.
Right. Yeah. Oh, they're big anthropomorphic sharks with like the coolest street gear in town.
Yeah.
Knuckle dusters.
One of them plays hockey.
Yeah, one of them.
They save the day. What a show.
Yeah.
Full of his time. Maybe every time Aaron Pierre accidentally damages like a box or a crate or something in the warehouse, it reveals a new like wacky fish character.
Right. Yeah.
So there's like a lobster man.
Yep.
But you assume it's going to be the top half is a lobster, but it's actually the bottom half.
Yeah.
The top half is just a guy.
So it's just fins, is it?
Just
like a mermaid? Oh, just like, okay.
Just these little tiny legs.
Okay. How about the Baker? Sorry, how about the wacky fish man is played by Vin Diesel?
Yeah, go on then.
Do you know why? Because there's a very famous Street Sharks commercial.
Oh yeah, he did an advertisement, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah. Yes, I remember watching it and thinking, I think he put more, acting range and depth of character into that than the last Fast and Furious movie.
You remember seeing it and just thinking, man, I really want some Street Sharks now. This guy's really selling it to me. Yeah.
This large, bald man has convinced me to buy Street Sharks.
And you know what, that whole, the conspiracy, I don't know if it's a conspiracy or not, but, Vin Diesel doesn't work out anymore. So they have to CGI muscles in for him.
Right.
Doesn't need to do this. He's a big fish.
No, he's fish. Fish don't have muscles.
No.
They have muscles. The other muscles spelled differently.
Yeah, and then this movie is like Fish X, Baker's Dozen. I don't know.
X-Fish.
X-Fish.
X-Fish, Baker's Dozen.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And people will be very confused with like, is this the 10th or the 12th installment of the movie?
Did I miss the last Fast and Furious where Vin Diesel turned into a fishman? A fishman?
Yeah. So yeah, I guess the ending.
I thought you said he was a fisherman. No, I said he was a fish man.
Fishman. The wacky man, Fishman, he has a big machine that changes people into fish. But when he puts bread people in, it comes out as fish bread. So it's like one loaf of bread with like either ends of the fish just like sticking out of it.
Yeah.
Do you know exactly what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
But no one's ever put a fish into the fish machine. What happens then?
Oh.
And this is what Aaron Pierre does. He goes and like shoves them in, and he's like, I'm trying to come up with a one-liner.
Fish off.
Oh God, there's something on the tip of my tongue and I can't quite get it.
And when he comes out of the machine, oh my God, he's 200% fish. He's just like really big, like the size of a building. He's the size of a warehouse. So the final part of the scene is he crashes and destroys his own warehouse.
Yeah. He's like, no, this was exactly the opposite of what I wanted to happen.
I still have no friends. And then we put the Godzilla roar in.
Yeah. It turns out like, what do you think Aaron Pierre's Baker character, he starts feeling quite remorseful. It's like, all he wanted to do is just have some friends.
Yeah, now I have to murder him.
Now I have to kill him. And then
because he is trying to avenge his boss, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's trying to avenge his boss. But so he wasn't in, he was in the wrong to have killed his boss. But at the same time,
he was in the wrong to walk into a shop and go, "Hey, do you have this bizarre bread that has never been made before by any human being?"
Yeah.
Understandably, no, we don't. Oh well, I guess I'll harpoon you then.
The end.
And instead of like the atomic breath that Godzilla has, he's just got fish breath.
Right. Maybe at the end, like he finally kills him off, and then you see his.
You've just been scaled back.
Your business has just been scaled back, and then like you see Aaron Pierre's character walk off into the distance, and he's got his rolling pin in one hand and his yeast in the other, walking into the sunset.
He's got the end of the fish man
in
the other hand. He goes, I thought that tale wouldn't end. Roll credits.
Roll credits.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say that maybe there's a post-credit scene where you see the fin, like you assume he's dead, but then the fin starts going, with the same effect that we had earlier on.
And there's the massive head just.
Fishman will return. Chatting Pitch has been brought to you by Leslie Way and Matthew D. Smith. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to listen to others and maybe even subscribe. You can follow us on the website, formerly known as Twitter.
Listen to us on Spotify or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Leslie and Matthew have their own side hustles as well. Feel free to check out Leslie's YouTube channel or Matthew's Medium blog. Links in the description. If you want anything else, we might have other links in the description if we think of anything interesting to add. Thank you for listening. I love you.